During the pandemic, millions of Americans quit their jobs, and new data shows 415,000 people voluntarily left their jobs in California in November. But that's only half of the story. The state saw more than 700,000 hires in the same month. Experts say workers are leveraging labor shortages to secure better pay and benefits. So, almost 2 years into the pandemic, we're still not back to the workforce we saw in early 2020.
KPIX5's Shawn Chitnis with a struggle for the Bay Area economy to bounce back.
Five Little Monkeys has locations around the Bay Area, including 2 in the North Bay. The business has been tested with each curve COVID throws at them.
We keep thinking, okay, we're, kind of made in the shade now, we're good, and then all of a sudden something else will flare up.
One challenge continuing into the new year is finding enough employees.
Sometimes when it's like any warm body will do, we're not in that situation yet.
California doesn't have almost 1 million workers that were in jobs before the pandemic, and our region continues to be behind.
Our recovery is slower than the U.S.'s recovery. The Bay Area's recovery is slower than California's overall recovery. When you look at other metros like Austin, Boise, Denver, Salt Lake City, our kind of West Coast competitors, even Seattle, many of them are much closer to full employment.
Businesses here along Grand Avenue say they have to be concerned about the big picture, but to really know if we're coming out of the pandemic, they're focused on how other stores are doing here on the same street.
I see, hiring signs in some of the windows. I know we've lost a couple of stores on the street in the past year.
Is this still the Great Resignation, or maybe is this the Great Reassignment? How do you categorize it?
I think it's still too early to tell. I think we will see people coming back, but it's a very, very different dynamic than we've seen in previous California recoveries since the early 1980s.
One positive outcome could be helping lower wage jobs get pay raises.
Do you think that the labor market in the Bay Area will improve?
I think our biggest concern when you talk about Bay Area jobs has always been affordability of housing.
But for those hiring entry-level positions, often geared towards students, the pandemic may make these jobs more valuable as well.
I think in these times they're looking for some, quote, real-world skills, especially in this time, because so many of them have been kind of, stuck behind screens and iPads.
Reporting in Novato, Shawn Chitnis, KPIX 5.